Hello YouTube, Byron from Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the Knife Channel. Today is Saturday, April 5th, 2025, and today I have got simply, a spoiler alert here, an absolute treat of a knife to show you. If I had had this knife and reviewed it when it came out in 2023, I am quite sure this would have been my knife of the year. It is that good. What knife am I talking about? I'm glad you asked. What I have here is the Jim Skelton of Skelton Bladeworks-designed, TuyaKnife US produced Caladan V2. Let's get into it. When you buy the knife from a company called TuyaKnife-US.com, from a man named Dave Warren over at Warren EDC Blades, he is out of Corbin, Kentucky. You will get this knife shipped to you in this beautiful plastic box. This is kind of a box that's become very popular for premium EDC gear. It's got two snaps on the front. If you open up the box, this is the knife. Comes in the foam case. Under the foam is usually the paperwork for the warranty, as well as sometimes some stickers. But this is the Skelton Bladeworks-designed TuyaKnife Caladan V2. Now, Jim originally released this knife in 2023, and he had a limited run, but he did bring this knife out, I want to say, in almost 8 different configurations. It came in a variety of different carbon fiber colors and patterns, including 3K, marbled carbon fiber, came in a blood orange G10 handle, came in both copper or aluminum infused carbon fiber scales, came in a purple haze camo carbon, and finally came in the sellout of all time, I think, the silver Texhelium carbon fiber. So I think you had 8 different configurations, all with a beautiful hand-rubbed satin blade of S90V steel. Today, with the V2 release that came out earlier in 2024, I think came out with a combination of 15 different configurations. Now, there are only several of those in stock left in some of the configurations, but I believe you can actually tonight, if you would buy this knife, have access to all 15 options. So what else did he do? On the V2 released, he also provided DLC-coated bolsters and the DLC-coated blades. And I think in just about every carbon fiber option imaginable. So 15 different total configurations, including one that was solid jigged titanium scales with the full bolster and a bead blasted finished blade. So lots of options. Let's get into the specs on this knife. First of all, if you open up this knife, it is a frame lock flipper only, but a beautiful action. Beautifully jimped flipper, fall shutty drop action. Look at that. Beautiful detent, breaks the detent quickly and then falls shut on the blade. The blade is centered right down Broadway. Beautifully milled pocket clip, right hand only. Sorry, lefties, no love for you on this one. But not a deep carry clip, leaves about a 1/2 inch of knife out of your pocket, but it has the perfect tension to get in and out of your pocket, say with a thick hem of a pair of jeans. It works beautifully and has been great to carry this last week. All right, what else do we have on this? Well, we have a captive flat pivot screw. Now, the original releases actually had Jim Skelton's SB for Skelton Bladeworks logo on the pivot. But with the V2 release, Tuya just went with a standard flat pivot screw. Now, the only 2 screws on the knife that are T8s are this lock bar insert and the pivot screw. All the rest of the screws on this knife that hold the scales on and the pocket clip, okay, are T6. Other features of the knife. We have a jimped flipper tab. That flipper tab hides behind the bolster once you open the blade. All right. Now, some people are going to find that a good thing, and some people aren't going to like that design feature, but that is an aesthetic preference. All right. You have excellent access to a jimped lock bar that allows you to get your thumb easily in there to break that D10 and close the knife. You have a beautiful radius scales. So for those carbon fiber inlays and the bolsters are nice and radius. That adds a classic, elegant touch to the knife. Now this one is in the raindrop carbon fiber, and I think it's got a real nice chatoyance, if that is the word, glimmer of patterns through that. Usually used for wood grains, but we'll use it for this carbon fiber as well. All right. You do have a over travel stop as far as the way that the inlays are designed against the full bolster and the frame lock. It is a bolster lock type apparati. Great lockup, great release, and beautiful action. All right, back to the specs. What else can I tell you? Overall, 8.5 inches long. Handle length, 4 3/4 inches. The inner grip length from the edge of the bolster to the tip of the back of the handle is 4 1/4 inches, and makes it really good for extra large plus size hands to get a full 4-finger, nice tight grip on the knife. And quite frankly, this is one of the most comfortable knives I have ever held as far as ergonomics. Just spectacular. All right. That spear point blade is saber ground with a flat grind that runs about 2/3 up the blade, and then has a full ground swedge from the edge of the jimping on the back of the blade all the way down to the tip, and that is on both sides. If we take a look at the marking on the blade, you'll notice that on the pile side here you have Skelton Bladeworks maker's mark, and also, I don't think my camera is going to cooperate, you have on the edge of the blade right here by the handle, it says S90V for S90V steel. If we turn it over, you have the Tuya Knives maker's mark on this side. Okay, now, what else have I left out here? Overall thickness. Let's talk about the thickness of the knife. Overall thickness from the tip of the pocket clip to the scale opposite side is 0.63 inches. If you would take off the pocket clip, that scale to scale dimension is 1/2 inch. Comes in 0.150 blade stock. The overall height of the knife is 1.5 inches. I think we covered that from the bolster to the flipper tab. Otherwise, your thickness right here is 1 1/16 inches. That's the same overall height of your blade steel. So I think that pretty much does it for the specs, except for this knife does weigh 4.8 ounces, which I think for as big a knife as this is excellent. Really good blade to handle ratio too, and that the tip of the knife, when it's closed, is very, very close to the overall end of the knife. I think you only have about, less than 1/4 inch difference from the edge of the knife to the edge of the blade tip. All right, guys. Well, I think that pretty much does it for the specs and for all the features of the knife. S90V steel is a premium steel, holds an edge very well. Now for the best part. The overall price of this knife, currently on sale as a clearance item. And remarkably, I believe all 15 versions of this are still available, but I know a few of them only have one more left in stock. You have a price of $159. Now, guys and gals, most of the time a knife with these features and these materials are running now anywhere from $300 and up. Most of them are in the $350 to $400 range as a production knife. Tuya has just brought out their 2025 models, and there's a knife in there that's over $450. So what I'm trying to tell you folks is, if you're an older guy on a limited budget, you've always wanted to try a premium style production folding knife, with nice materials, a glamorous look, but just didn't want to spend the kind of money they want for these knives. You're not going to find a better, more premium knife at this price, maybe ever again. Go pick yourself up one of these Caladan V2s, designed by Jim Skelton, built by Tuya Knives, warranted and serviced and provided by Warren EDC Blades out of Corbin, Kentucky. And again, that website is www.TuyaKnife-US.com. I will put all of this information in the description of this video. And good luck getting one of these beautiful blades. This is Byron from Splitting Slices saying split a slice with a friend soon. And until my next video, everybody, please take care.